Hey, welcome back to Up in Smoke, all about barbecue. I'm Becky, and it's a little chilly out here, so we are recreating my Snowpocalypse chili. This is what we did back during February 2021 when we had a nice little layer of snow covering almost the entire South, and some of us were without power for great lengths of time. And so we came out here. I got the Kamado started. And well, first I bundled up in my parka, although it wasn't much colder out here than it was getting cold inside the house. So bundled up in my parka, came out here, started up the Kamado. Nice thick ceramic walls, so it gave us a little extra insulation to get some real good heat going. And put my little Dutch oven on right over the heat deflector, so it's not over the direct flames. Got some ground beef in there. I've put in a little bit of salt sprinkled over that. And I'm going to put in some black pepper. And we're going to let this get nice and browned out here on the grill. It takes a little bit longer than if you were doing it on your stove, but it will get browned. I was a little worried about it when we were back suffering through that, but we needed some hot food, something warm to eat, and thought it's going to take forever. But some of it is starting to brown a little bit. I only just put it on right as we were starting, so you won't really see it yet, but it's going to get brown here in a few minutes, and then we'll start adding a little more stuff once this gets seasoned, and I'll start taking off some of the grease. I'll just kind of scoop it out and put it into my empty jar over here. So we'll have our Snowpocalypse chili done on the Kamado in just a little while. So my ground beef is getting nicely browned. I'm pulling off a little bit of the grease here. I want a little bit left behind while I'm trying to saute my onions and peppers here in a second. So we're going to get those going in next. Get some grease over here that we want to get off a little bit.
That's browning fast.
Fairly fast. This grill is hot. It's the other thing when it's cold outside. This is a nice warm job too, making this chili. So now I've got half of a yellow onion that I've diced up. I've got one jalapeno that I diced up and seeded. Normally when I make chili, I like to have one jalapeno and one serrano pepper. Couldn't find any serranos this time, and when we were actually in the middle of Snowpocalypse, I didn't have any peppers in the house, so I just went with the dried peppers and dried herbs. And I also have 2 garlic cloves that I diced up in here too. I'm going to put those all in and get those softened and sauteed down in our beef grease. I almost said bacon grease, not bacon grease. And then we're going to pull out a little more of the grease before we start adding in our crushed tomatoes. I'm going to go ahead and also add a little more salt now that I've put in some onions. Each step of the way, as I add each main ingredient, I add a little more salt, a little more pepper, just to make sure when I stirred up my ground beef too, after salting and peppering it, then I salted and peppered it again just to get it all through there. So we're going to get these down in here. Get these onions and the garlic all nice and softened up, like I said. Then we'll add our crushed tomatoes.
Okay.
So our onions are nice and softened up. I'm ready to start adding my crushed tomatoes. I like using crushed tomatoes for my chili just because it makes it nice and a little bit saucy. And if you pour it over the back of a spoon, it doesn't splatter as much.
Oh, nice.
So, because the last thing I wanted when I was out here during Snowpocalypse and my apron wouldn't really fit over my parka, I didn't want it splattering all over my parka. So if that's how you roll too.
Where'd you learn that little trick?
Oh, long time ago, just cooking in the kitchen. My mom may have taught me that. One of those little things Mama taught me when I first started learning how to cook.
Yeah.
I don't know. she'll watch and she'll let me know if it was her or not.
Yeah.
So we're going to stir this in a little bit. I'm going to, again, add a little more salt and pepper. Those crushed tomatoes don't have salt. And I want to make sure it's all nicely seasoned all through there. And then, one of my favorite ingredients for chili is just about half a tablespoon to a tablespoon of honey. Because I thought my favorite taster opened this one too. Maybe not.
You didn't ask.
I did too. So, anyway, it helps kind of balance the acidity of the tomatoes and balance the spiciness, because we're also going to add a little smoked paprika to this, just powdered smoked paprika. So get this all nicely drizzled in there.
And for the record, we do not use beans in our chili.
No, no beans. Beans really don't belong in chili. Sorry. Nope. And no water. And there's a lot of people who just use water in with, I don't know, like diced tomatoes or some such.
Interesting.
Somebody was telling me, just water belongs in your chili with your diced tomato. I'm like, water? So yeah, I don't know if I said this when I started, I have 2 pounds of ground beef in here. So then I use 2 of these jars that are 18-ounce jars of crushed tomatoes. That makes it nice and saucy, but it'll still thicken up as we let it simmer. I'm going to go ahead and now sprinkle in a little of the smoked paprika. This is going to add a little nice heat too that our honey can balance out. And then my super secret ingredient that helps balance the acidity and the spiciness as well, so you don't get that fun little heartburn issue with your chili if you get that. I take just a tiny little pinch, if I can get it with my gloves here, little pinch of baking soda and sprinkle this in. I didn't get much at all with my gloves now, actually. Just a little pinch. Sprinkle that in. Like I said, that helps kind of neutralize some of the acid too. And stir that in. It doesn't really taste like anything, so you're not going to taste it.
Nope, and I don't get the burps.
The burps. You don't get the afterburn.
Nope.
At least I don't anymore. So now this is ready to just simmer. We're going to let this simmer on the grill out here by itself. To me, chili needs to simmer at the very least for an hour. It's really best the longer you can go, like 3 to 4 hours, 5 hours even, because then all those flavors really start to meld in together and get all nice and tasty goodness. So, like I said, we're going to cover this and we're going to let it simmer for a while before we take it off and taste it. So we've come out and stirred our chili. I have come out and stirred my chili a few times actually, probably about every 15 to 30 minutes, just to give it a good stir, see how it was doing. Check it out.
Great.
It was nice and bubbly. I turned it down because it was bubbling a lot. So it got nice and thick. I don't know if you can see this. You're not looking at it got nice and thick too.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thickened up. So we are ready to take this inside and let it cool a little bit, and then we will taste it. This is smelling and looking really yummy. I'm going to give it one more stir before I start scooping with my, and you have to, bang the spoon a little bit. So I'm going to scoop this up, and my favorite taster is going to come over.
I'm ready. Oh yeah.
Are you ready? You're going to have to
ready.
blow on this.
I'm more than ready.
It's still steamy. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh, this is so.
This looks nice.
This is so beautiful looking.
It is. It's very thick.
See if I can get this.
That's what I like about the crushed
camera.
tomatoes.
Yes.
When they simmer a little bit, it really just thickens up. And out on the grill too, it really thickens up. Yeah, my sister jokingly said one time, I said I was in a chili mood, and my sister said, "Are you gonna smoke it?" And she put laughing emojis. It was a text, and I said, "Well, I actually did that during Snowpocalypse, and she said, "Oh, I wasn't serious."
Yep.
She doesn't know me as well as she thinks she does.
No.
I'll put anything on the grill, just about.
Yeah. It's a little hot, so.
But yeah, blow on it. We'll take some time. We could have, if I could find my double-decker grill grate. I know I've got one somewhere, and I don't know what I did with it, but I could have put some cornbread out there. I actually baked some cornbread in the oven instead this time. Not during Snowpocalypse, obviously, because the power was off. But I didn't know where. I don't think I had to. Sometimes, you know, when something like that just randomly hits, you got to go with what you have on hand. And I don't think I had cornbread ingredients on hand. So,
nope.
Is it ready to eat? It's still steaming.
It's awesome. Great flavor. Now, there's a lot of complexity in the flavors going on. You can feel a little bit of the heat. You can taste the onion, the beef, the tomatoes. But
a lot of complexity going on.
Yes. I'm not sure, and it may be me. I don't really have a refined palate, like as much as I would like to.
You're getting one more than when I married you.
Yes, more than before we got married. But the reason I'm kind of prefacing this is I'm not sure if I can taste the smoke or not. Tell me if you do.
I don't know. Yeah, we didn't taste a whole lot of the smoke. This, like I said, this recipe was mostly about survival.
Born out of necessity,
when the power was off. I even scrambled eggs out there on the Kamado and made some sausage at one point when the power was off.
Yep. The big Snowpocalypse where all of Texas lost electricity.
What?
Did I say what did I say? Snowpocalypse?
Snowpocalypse.
What did I say? Did I say
I don't know what you said. You said something. You got it all.
Anyways, but the whole point is this exercise is for preppers, for extended power outages, or for the novelty of it, because it's not really something you can taste the smoke per se.
I don't know. I'm picking up a tiny bit, a little bit. I still, full confession, full disclosure, I still have some issues getting really good smoke flavor off the Kamado. I think it's a learned skill, and I've only had it, I think we got the Kamado truly like maybe 4 months before Snowpocalypse hit, and it was a godsend because of those thick walls. I preferred cooking on it during, you know, below freezing temperatures than the kettle grill, since they're such thinner walls. But that had, you know, a little more insulation, got the fire going, kept it up nice and hot. But I got some salt on this too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I didn't have to add salt. This is perfect. This is another hit. This is
chili is always delicious.
Favorite taster approved.
Chili on a chili day. Chili today, hot tamale. You know what they say.
Yep. So this is awesome. I could eat this 7 days a week.
So, really?
Oh yeah.
7 days a week. So all I gotta do is make some chili every few days.
That's it.
Make a big enough batch, and you've got leftovers. And it's even better as leftovers.
Oh yeah.
Because the flavors still even
the flavors enhance when you refrigerate and reheat.
Even after you've simmered for several hours, when that really has the same effect as making all those flavors really move through the whole batch. But yes, so this is my recipe that I do inside or outside that I prefer to do. I've been doing for years. And then suddenly one day, favorite taster, my husband, brings me a chili mix. Granted, it was Carol Shelby's chili, which is a little different. But still, I was like, what, you don't like my chili anymore?
There's a story behind that. We had recently become Shelby GT500 owners. So that was really...
He saw the Carol Shelby stuff and was like...
She got really insulted, y'all.
I did. I'm like, you bringing me a chili mix? You don't like my chili anymore?
But it's if you need to do something really quick and fast and don't want to work on the proportion of the ingredients and just throw the ingredients in.
Throw everything in. You still want to simmer it. But it was good. It actually reminded me of Wendy's chili. Didn't it? I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's darn good chili. It's darn good chili.
I mean, Wendy's in, I don't know, years, ages, but we used to have their chili. That's what it tastes like. But anyway, so this is an easy recipe. Do it yourself. no beans, just meat, crushed tomatoes, jalapeno pepper, serrano, if you have one, throw it in, onions, garlic, and you're good to go. A little smoked paprika.
Beautiful.
And it's delicious, especially on a chilly day like today.
Yes.
So thank you so much for watching. Give us a like and a subscribe, and we will see you next time.